All right, everybody, welcome out to the Logroom Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, July the 16th, 2024. I couldn't think of the year for a minute there. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always, is none of them, Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Yeah. Oh, I got to put my jigsaw puzzle down. Sorry.
Yeah, put that down there.
Put you over here. I have to do jigsaw puzzles on my phone.
You got to love it. That's good.
Yeah.
How are you on this fine evening?
I'm doing swell. I'm doing swell on this wonderful National Funnel Cake Day.
National Funnel Cake Day. Happy National Funnel Cake Day, everyone. Happy National
Funnel Cake Day. I have no funnel cake.
I don't. You know what? When I was a kid, I liked funnel cake.
I was gonna say because I'm not 12 anymore.
Right. You know, I prefer Zeppelis now.
Yeah.
In fact, to be quite honest with you, when I was 12, I preferred Zeppelis, to be honest with you.
I'm sure you did, but you got that half Italian thing going. You know, you got to get the Zeppelis.
You got to get the you go to the carnival, you get a sausage and pepper sandwich, little sausage, right? And then you get the Zeppelis.
Yeah. The carnival's up where I live now, where you grew up.
Where I grew up, right.
The carnivals up here are all, they're the Roman Catholic Church is throwing them. Mm-hmm. So you get that, but even down where I grew up down in
there's plenty of sausage and peppers and Zeppelis down here too. So
where
you grew up, where I am now, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the Zeppelis, you didn't see Zeppelis as much when I was a kid down there. It's now it's common.
But now the Zeppelis are kind of getting out of favor, and the fried Oreos are coming around now. So.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
Not they're awful, but they are. But no, back in the day, it was.
I eat one. I'm like, wow, this is delicious. I eat a second one. I'm like. It wasn't as delicious as the first one. I take a bite of the third one. I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
That's gone. Yeah. No, but what funnel cake will always remind me of my grandfather. He would take us to Wall Stadium to the demolition derbies.
Sure. Still over here. Still right here.
They're still there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, where he lived in Bricktown, when they were running the modifieds, you could hear them.
Nice.
He wasn't that far from the stadium, which means he wasn't that far from Allaire, which is one of your and Jess's favorite places.
Absolutely.
It's just up the road. But the demolition derbies would get our funnel cake. Mom would get mad at him afterwards because our clothes would be, they put it on the paper towel, which would the oil would just go right through that stuff.
Right through it, yeah. The paper towel's not stopping that.
And it's funny because they put powdered sugar on it, but the powdered sugar becomes like a paste the second that oil.
It's paste, yeah. It's like Ross on Friends with the he put the powder and then the Vaseline, or not Vaseline, the lotion, and made a pair of paste pants.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like no, I can't do them anymore. It's just they actually make me sick.
No, yeah, I can't. I can't do it anymore. They make me sick.
Can't do it. Can't do it. And yesterday we did a Cabernet. Today that's the wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But
so a couple things really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get this bitching out of the way. All right. I'm growing more and more tired of.
Go back to my game.
Go back to your game. Yeah, no. I told you before. We were running late today. Well, first of all, let's just say this now. Get it out of the way. As you probably have guessed by now, especially if you've read the post, this is a Just the Two of Us show. We're going to discuss ad nauseum Dave's Pittsburgh trip, and I'm going to chime in with all of my...
No, it's not going to be just my trip. We're just going to talk about Pittsburgh.
We're going to talk about Pittsburgh.
A lot of the same
things. We'll talk about Pittsburgh in general, and then some points of your trip, but yeah, Pittsburgh in general. So anybody listening in on the Pittsburgh Craft Beer Group, please have at it, write in, and tell us, comment in.
And if you are listening from the Pittsburgh area, what's up, Yins?
There you go. More on that in a moment.
More on that in a moment.
Yins,
however, I love that.
However, just want to say, just get the bitching out of the way. I mentioned to you before we started the show, one of the reasons, the main reason we're actually later than we wanted to be is because Facebook, in their infinite wisdom, has been playing some trickery with StreamYard, which is how we come to you every week through the obviously platforms that we come to you, be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, so forth, so on.
Can I drink during your bitch?
You know what? Yeah, you know what?
You might want to drink during your.
Put a pause in that. Let's pour our beer.
Let's pour a beer.
What are you having first, my good man?
Well, as you know from the last show, I was really kind of enamored with Low Lev Brewing and brought a bunch of their stuff home.
Yep.
It was also, I was not in an Uber. We had the car, so I was able to put a bunch of stuff in the car. So I've got their Gozev. Their Gozev is a Goza.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pouring
Lolev,
it,
Gozev. I see what they did there. It's pretty cool. Pretty clever, actually.
and I poured it into this glass, which matches the shirt.
Very nice. Very nice.
This is Coven Brewing. They're just down the road from Lolev. And hopefully you guys will see this shirt and glass again shortly.
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 Gotcha.
And oh wow, that's really freaking good.
Is it? Is it a? Is it a?
It's a salted sour.
So I'm saying it's a traditional goza. There's no fruit or anything like that. It's
No, there's no fruit in it, but it's throwing mad fruit esters.
nice.
Mad fruit esters, and we and you know how some of the goes almost taste like a wit because of the phenols they throw.
Sure.
That's what this is doing. This is a beautiful goza. I may have to change my top 3 list, John.
Is that right? That good?
That's really, really good.
Wow. That's. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, this brewery's got themselves dialed in. I'll tell you.
And I'll be honest with you. This is what am I going here? Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. This is the Lolev. Yeah. All the times I've been to Pittsburgh, and I've been many, many times, I've never been to Lolev.
Them and Coven are just north of where
Trace.
Trace is off a little to the east of like this little cluster of breweries, where I think 11th
Hour
is. The burger joint that is Cinderland's
Cinderland's the tap room,
the sandwich,
not the fooder house, the
restaurant, and then the burgers is right there as well. So there's that little cluster. If you go just north of that, you'll come to Coven first, and then go further north, and you'll be at Lolev.
Very nice.
What are you drinking, Johnny?
This is pretty. Very nice. I am drinking from Heist Brewing in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm drinking Druid Pills South.
Druid Pills
South, and there's the artwork for it. Druid.
Very nice. He looks like he might be a 19th level druid there.
I'm thinking that.
Staff.
I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
So Heist Brewing in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I put it in my mechanical brewing glass. There you go.
Now, did you notice when I was in Trace, when I put your in Trace Brewing, I managed to get the Beer Samurai sticker up and also one of the few Coastal Brewworks stickers I had left. And I've got you right next to Mechanical Brewing. And
now I got to ask
pint size Leia.
Now, were you in all right, so the tap room in Trace, right?
Yep.
You walk in, you walk down a couple stairs, the bar's over here. As you're walking in, high tops are over here. You go to the back, all the production's back there. The fooders are over here at the back of the end of the bar. And then the tap room kind of goes this way with seating, and then you go back to the bathrooms back that way. There's a big pole with stickers on it right here in the middle. Is that where you put the stickers?
Next to the sofas up by the fooders?
Yeah. That is the third time a Coastal sticker has been put on that. Because those particular stickers don't stick all that well on certain materials.
I've noticed this, but your sticker is stuck to stickers.
Then that'll work. If you put a sticker on stickers, it'll work. If you put it on certain paint and certain materials, it'll peel off. However, these just came in.
What just came in?
The new.
I need some of those.
There you go. The new
some of those because you need to get me some before I go to Seattle.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you'll go out there with a half full of those. That'll be good. Yeah, and you're also going to go out there with the new Locker Room Guys stickers. You're going to go out to Seattle.
Ooh, get those stuck all over the place.
There you go.
But yes,
but this is very tasty. I got to be honest with you. This is a very tasty pill. So very nice.
Man, this is tasting like I didn't get enough of these.
So back to my bitching just for 1 second. So
to recap, people, Facebook is doing things with StreamYard and probably other hosting services that doesn't seem all of that kosher at the moment.
they're making it more and more difficult, like on and on and on. They're making it more and more difficult for people to stream to Facebook from StreamYard. All right, and I'm assuming from others too, but I can only speak on StreamYard, right? So now, with all they've done, hold on one second. We got a comment here. Brian Boak, good evening, Brian.
Hey, cheers, Brian.
Cheers, Brian. Thank you. With all they've done with the StreamYard,
and trust us, Brian is a better looking person than his profile picture.
100%. No, yeah, he's better. But anyway,
see the family likeness, but
it's similar, but no.
Yeah, but it's.
But in any event, they so that's one thing. So you deal with that, you move on, you get past it, you figure out what they need you to do, and you do it, and that's fine. Brian said, "Cheers, absolutely,
cheers
Brian." But now, as of literally, this didn't happen. I mean, we went live with End of Chaser last week, and we also went live with the sports podcast on Wednesday night, and then Tuesday we had the Logroom guys. So this is within the last 5 days. They have decided that you can no longer share an upcoming video from your page's timeline, newsfeed, whatever you want to call it. You can share a video that's already aired, after the fact, but you can no longer share something that's upcoming to a group. And we share to a lot of groups. We share to about 30 groups every week, all around the country and everything else. This, obviously, Pittsburgh being one of them. And some of them Dave and I host, some of them were admins of, some of them were just members of the group, right?
Yep.
But in any event, now you can no longer share that. So I literally had to go in and copy the link, copy the text, and go into every single individual group and paste that. So, all right, I'm done with my bitching about Facebook.
And I told you why I think it's doing it. I'm sure that Facebook is going to launch something that is a podcasting platform, and they're already crippling, any competition they may have.
And then you're probably right. But to go one further than that, and the reason I brought this up on the air and didn't just let it go after Dave and I talked earlier before the show is when I went live, we've been going live every week. Every show we do, we go live on Facebook, we go live on our YouTube channel, we go live on Twitch, and we go live on Twitter, which is now X. All right. So when I hit go live tonight, all right, I get a pop-up that says you can no longer go live on X unless you have a premium account.
Awesome.
So for years we've been going live on X. This has nothing to do with Facebook. This has everything to do with Elon Musk. I mean X. Try to get some of his $4 billion back.
All he's doing is killing the platform.
Right. So So now you can no longer. We've been for years now. We've been going live every week on X. We can't now, unless we have a premium account, and we're not buying a premium account. Sorry. So no longer. So sorry. Anybody that had watched this on X and enjoyed that platform, sorry, you're going to have to watch it on Facebook, our YouTube channel, or Twitch now, because.
We'll see. Hey, you know what? It's appropriate we're talking about Elon and Zuckerberg on World Snake Day. So
there you go. That is right. So where is it? Happy World Snake Day. There you go.
For those of you who like snakes.
For those of you that like snakes.
I'm actually one of those who like snakes.
I don't mind snakes. I've handled them before. I don't necessarily love it. It's a little, it depends on the mood you're in, and it depends on the snake you're holding too, by the way.
Well, yeah, I used to catch snakes when I was a kid. My mom
garter snakes, or kid.
Garters.
Yeah, I went after friends or whatever. Hey, especially the ones that are like,
Yeah, well, my mom had this dog named Ebony, smart little black shepherd. Really.
Did you get an ivory one after that?
No. After Ebony.
Did they live together in perfect harmony?
No, they did not.
Side by side on your piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't?
It was only Ebony. Only the sharp and flat keys.
But
we had our backyard was the woods. There was a swamp back there, and I just look at her and I'd go, Ebony, let's go get a snake. She'd bark at me and run. I'd have to chase after her, and I'd hear her barking. And when I caught up to her, she'd have a snake that she was keeping from escaping until I got there.
Perfect.
And every time she did it, it was a garter snake.
Well, there you go.
She wasn't a dummy. She knew what would hurt me, what wouldn't. And I'd come home with that garter snake latched onto my finger and go, hey, Mom, look what I got. And I think one time my mom was really close to passing out.
And it was biting your finger, and you were just holding it up. Right?
Yeah, because garter snakes just have that ridge. It doesn't hurt.
Right. Yeah, of course. It's just like a ridge of teeth, and it's just it grips on. There you go.
But you also know that Carrie and I geocache all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in I can never remember the name of that state park. There's a really good orchard nearby named after the same thing. It's out near Long Valley. Any rate,
Allsteeds or Orts?
No. It's neither one of those.
No,
but there's the state park there.
Yeah. It's
anyway, we're geocaching.
Starts with an H.
Hacklebarney. That's
Hacklebarney.
Thank you. So we're in Hacklebarney. We're geocaching, and there's this one geocache that's hidden in this group of rocks. And I just don't know which crack or crevice it's in. So I'm like going through this one crevice and just reaching around in there through all the leaves and rustling around. I just can't, there's just nothing there. So I go in and look someplace else. And Carrie's coming around the other side, and she's like, "Oh, there's a snake in this hole." And I come over, and it's the same exact hole I've been rummaging around in. At first,
on a different podcast, that means something completely different.
Probably. It's like, I think that's a corn snake, by the way.
Corn snake.
Right. And corn snake are harmless, except for the fact that, I had taken a picture of it. I mean, I was this close to the snake when I took the picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a corn snake. I get home, I pull up the picture, and I rummage around Google to see what the snake is. Oh, it was actually a copperhead.
Lovely.
Yeah, so I've been rummaging around in that crack in the rocks where it was, and for some reason didn't disturb it immediately, and then went back, got this far away from the damn thing, and luckily for me, it didn't strike.
Yeah, that would have what's that word? Sucked.
Yes, because we were probably about 1.25 miles in.
Yeah, Yeah, you weren't getting to help anytime quickly.
No. I'm a bit heavier than Carrie. She's strong, but to drag my fat ass all the way
wasn't going to happen, right? Exactly.
No.
Brian Boak just commented too. He said, John Henderson of Good Time Tricycle, AC Beer Fest, and other events loves snakes. Did you see his post today, Brian? With the he had a I guess it's a boa or an anaconda, or I forget.
That's probably not an anaconda. It's probably a boa.
Or I forget what it was. It was pretty damn big.
Boas can get big. My little brother had a boa.
Yeah, he said yes, he did. Got out, and apparently he found under a pallet. He lifted it up, and it was hiding under the pallet. He had to pull it off the pallet. So that was pretty fun. Cat Reyes, cheers. Says good afternoon, guys. It's evening here, but yes, it's afternoon where you are. So yes, haven't had a beer in 6 days. She said, please drink one for me or two. Absolutely. Well,
maybe we'll drink all three for you.
We'll drink all three for you tonight, Kat. You got it. Kat's going to be joining us in the venture of the Artisan Spirits Festival, and she's going to be on the Logroom Guys again on September what? What was it?
Hold on. Let me take a quick look here.
Well,
we haven't asked her yet.
Well, we haven't asked you yet. We're asking her now.
September 3rd.
September 3rd. So
there we go.
So we'll figure it out. Kat, that's good for you. If not, we'll switch the date. But there you go. I thought we had. And I've been
not yet asked her.
And she said 9-3. There you go.
Okay, right. She's had it. Okay, maybe we did ask her.
All right. So it is Snake Day. So enough about the BS with the social media. So I apologize for that. I'm enjoying my beer. How are you?
I'm still doing fine, Jens.
I mean, how are you enjoying your beer?
Oh, I'm enjoying this beer.
Mm-hmm.
It may have really upset my my top 3 list tonight.
There you go. We'll have to do it. Doug Smith. Cheers, Doug. When is the Christmas in July show? Next week, Doug. Next week.
1
week from right now, there will be 4 fairly inebriated guys on the show.
Yeah, hopefully we're not inebriated by this. Well, if we start on time, yeah.
No, we'll start on time next week because we're going to have more than an hour's worth of drinking to do. So.
And I'm looking over at my collection of beers over there, going, "Oof, I've got a few over there." So this will be a fun one.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a fun one. Doug, and you know what? I'm extending the invite, Doug. If you wish to join Dave and I and Guru and Beer Whisper on the show,
feel free. We'll send you the link.
You can, by all means, even if you want to pop on with one Christmas ale, and cheers with us and talk for a few minutes and then pop back off and start commenting again, we're fine with that too. So you're good to go there.
So we'll chat.
Absolutely. This is really tasty. I like it. All right, let's talk about Pittsburgh. Let's talk about Pittsburgh, as they call it. PGH, as it's known.
See PGH everywhere there, and you also see the term "yins" all the time. Yins is just Pittsburghian, or is it Pittsburghian?
Pittsburghian.
Pittsburghian for y'all.
Y'all, yeah.
It just replaces y'all. So any place that a Southerner would say y'all, or someone from this area would say yous.
Yous.
Or you guys.
You guys.
That's what yins is.
Yep, it is.
So
you
yins want some Heinz ketchup. So I don't know if there's any accent out there, but I'll say one thing: I had a good time.
There's no accent per se. It's just the words used kind of. It's more of a like you said, yins and so forth. It's that kind of a thing.
Yeah. So I had a good time while I was out there. Johnny had been out the year before me.
I've been to Pittsburgh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times now.
And he's hit places that I didn't get to, and I actually managed to hit a few places he didn't get to.
You did.
And I don't think you got to Coven either.
I did not get to Coven or Lowlev.
How about Old Thunder?
Yes, Old Thunder is. Old Thunder is where I had the Blowfish barbecue.
And you know what? We were looking for a place to go one day, and we wound up doing one area rather than the area that would have taken us to Old Thunder. Mm-hmm. And if we had gone the day that we were trying to find a place to go, Blowfish was there.
Blowfish was there. I'm telling you, that brisket is so good. I mean, let's put it this way. I've had Blowfish barbecue once. I've had ZZQ barbecue twice. I've had even other, higher touted barbecue than either of them a bunch too. The brisket at ZZQ is out of this world. The brisket at Blowfish, which is a trailer that hits breweries in Pittsburgh, is almost as good as ZZQ.
Nice. So, and we're looking for,
if not as good as ZZQ.
As you know, we tried to find what appeared to be a brick and mortar place for them, but they weren't open when we came around. So,
Rick Toby, cheers.
Oh, cheers.
You got it, Rick.
We keep doing all these cheers. I'm going to be through this beer in no time.
I'm almost done too. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not complaining, by the way.
Not in
the slightest.
One bit. Not one bit. So I got to ask you.
Yeah.
I thought you were a Mets fan. Go Bucks.
Oh. Well,
and what's with the hat there?
Okay, so we went to see the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was the first of a 4-game stand.
Right.
And so we get there, and they're giving away the bucket hats. You know what's cool about the bucket hats?
What's cool about the bucket hat?
They're reversible. So you see how like this? I can then do this with it, and then I've got a yellow bucket hat. Mm-hmm. See that? Ain't that pretty?
They are very, exactly.
I think it works better this way.
As the Bucks hat, yeah.
That's a duck. It's Bucks on the other side. Because look, you didn't see this part on the very top of it.
It's just Pirates.
So you've got that.
Bucks and Pirates, same thing. So
so this way, I can do that. Don't need the tag showing. So at this game, we went, and I'll say one thing: Pittsburgh sports fans are lovely. They're a lot of fun.
100%, love them.
Yeah, they're great. It's we spent a lot of time bashing Philly and their fans.
Whoa. Rick's watching.
Sorry, Rick.
Mind your P's and Q's there, Samurai.
the P's on the inside there.
Yeah.
But it's not as hostile as environment as Philly is, and
Rick would probably agree with you.
I would agree on that one. You go, put it this way: Philadelphia fans, they protect their house. You don't go into their house,
whether they need to or not.
Yes, Pittsburgh is a lot more welcoming. We had a lot of fun while we were there.
I will
Guys
say,
sitting behind me was a blast.
I will say this isn't pandering to Rick or any other Eagles fans or Phillies fans that are watching, or Philadelphia fans that are watching this. But I do know a number. It's a small number, but I do know a number of Philadelphia sports fans that are nice.
Oh yes, no,
You know,
it's just.
and I was kidding with the small number too. I was kidding with that.
It's
When
you
it's
see the tailgaters
it's
and how they treat
stereotypical ones that are hammered at the
Yeah.
games, and it's more Eagles than it is Phillies. Because I'll be honest with you, I've been to one Eagles game ever, and it was Giants Eagles, and it was back in the vet, right back in the day, and I made sure I didn't have a stitch of blue on, not even a speck of blue thread somewhere on, nothing, right? However, I've been to multiple Phillies games, and fans are cool. I mean, it's you sit there and you talk to them. There's a little rivalry, a little ribbon, and everything else. Nothing really gets like it.
That's any stadium.
It's the tailgating at the Eagles games. That's the biggest issue that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But, anyway, back to Pittsburgh.
But though, so we went, and the game started off well with McNeil hitting a home run.
Yeah, that was first scoring. I think.
And that was the last time we saw a lead.
That was it.
Yeah, and it's funny because
Pittsburgh had 73 home runs, I think, in that game.
Well, just take the first digit. Yeah, they had 7.
All right.
They had enough home runs that the stadium ran out of fireworks.
There was because they shoot off fireworks. They couldn't have the fireworks display after the game because there were no more fireworks to be had.
They actually issued an apology to the fans that they had run out of fireworks, that they were not expecting what happened that night. No one was. But the one thing I can say is thank God for a Headhunter IPA from Fathead, because I got a big old cup of that. And that just, forgot the game real quickly. So, yeah, during the game, I put the bucket hat on and, started cheering the home runs because Pittsburgh was putting on an offensive show, which is such a rare thing for Pittsburgh to do.
Doesn't really happen a lot often.
I was feeling happy for their fans, and me and a bunch of the other Mets fans were like, we all started to applaud their home runs after that.
Exactly.
It was.
So you decided to adopt the Go Bucks and the bucket hat and everything else. So you were in
well, for this show.
All right. How about this?
Oof. I don't know what's more horrible to look at, you or that beer.
Oh, come on. You got to have an Iron City when you're out in Pittsburgh.
I did. I actually had
right.
an icy light.
There you go.
I went to, you can take it down now.
By the way, no, I'm just showing it. This is me wearing a Roberto Clemente jersey and my Pittsburgh Pirates hat as well. There you go. I mean, after all, I am Jersey Johnny. So.
Yes, you have your jerseys. But no, I had the icy light at Primonti Brothers.
One of my favorite pictures, by the way, I've taken from PNC Park right there. Look at that. That is.
But for the love of God, if you like yourself, don't eat Primonti Brothers.
No. It's I will tell you this. I've had it several times. Some of the sandwiches are not bad. You had it. Did you have it? Did you go to Primonti Brothers or did you have it at the stadium?
No, I had it the Primonti Brothers South Side.
South Side. All right.
Yeah.
It's not a sub that we're getting in the New York tri-state area. All right, it's not. But it's not horrible. If you had a horrible experience, I will tell you, you probably had an off. The guy that made the sandwich was probably having an off day.
No,
it's not because it's not. You're not gonna. I would be shocked to shit to hear you say it was the best sandwich I ever had. You're not going to say that.
Well, here's the thing: if you
for you to react the way you did,
do not get the Pittsburgher.
Oh, yeah,
the Pittsburgher is the Pitts, because they're calling it a Salisbury steak kind of burger thing. No, it's just a very overcooked burger.
No, you got to get a sandwich. You got to get the Italian.
You got to get one of the other sandwiches.
You got to get one of the hoagies. You got to get one of the.
That thing was disgusting.
Yeah, you got to get one with. You got to get the one with the capicola on it. The one with the capicola on it is actually very good.
Yeah, and from this area,
it's not insanely good. It's pretty good.
But if you're from this area and go out there, don't call it gabagool. They won't know the hell you're talking about.
I said capicola.
I know. I'm just
right. If I was referring to a place in Brooklyn, I would have said gabagool.
No,
But I'm talking about Pittsburgh, so it's Capicola.
It is Capicola.
Fair enough.
Every place else. I wasn't directed at you. Why so defensive?
I don't know. Oh, I thought you were. I thought you were telling me this.
No, I was telling our
Just in
listeners.
general. I get it. Okay, fine.
Just in general.
Yeah.
It's
By the
not
way,
all about you, John.
just one more. I just need to show. Okay, because
apparently it is. Here comes another picture.
Yeah, no. I have been to Steelers games too, and there you go.
Yes. See, we saw the stadium, but there was nothing going on there, so we didn't go into the stadium. But what we did, what's really close to the stadium, is the Fred Rogers statue.
Oh, it's right there. It's right next to the stadium.
It's right across the street from
little bumpy. It's a little bumpy.
Yes, it's a little bumpy.
It's not smooth. It's not smooth bronze. It's bumpy bronze.
Nope, it's bumpy bronze. Excuse me. But the what's cool about it is you walk through that like kind of big arch.
Oh yeah.
And they're playing music, and it's acoustically perfect.
Oh, how cool. You sit right in there and feel like you're watching. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood right there. It's
no matter where you stand in that arch, you're getting the music, and it's really something wonderful. And what's really cool is just to see everybody who shows up to that statue, the veneration of Fred Rogers, and rightfully so. That was really, really cool. We also saw more of his stuff, at the Senator Hines History Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because they have, from the set of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, they've got the tree.
Yep, everything is in there from it.
The castle.
Oh, how cool! Yeah, I didn't realize you did go to the Hines Museum. How cool is that set with everything from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? That was great.
It was listening to, because they have like a wax figure of him sitting on the bench, changing his loafer into loafers, like he would do at the beginning of every show. Yep. And the little television, what do you call the little television behind him?
Oh,
there's a name for it.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
But on that, they were playing Mr. Rogers episodes. And it was really hard to go into that, see that set, because it's the Mr. Rogers set. There's the door, the little stairway down to the landing, the coat rack where you put his put the one jacket and then put his vest, his sweater on, not the sweater vest, sweater, pullover,
cardigan.
And it was really Love Fool. Yeah, I love that song. The sweater. Yes. There it is.
That's the.
You can't mention a damn thing without John pulling up a picture on an audio podcast.
There you go. That's where King Friday lived, right there.
Yep, King Friday the 13th.
Yep.
King Friday the 13th. But it was really hard to be there, listening to what was going on.
That's what Dave was talking about. Anybody watching the video? That's
there it is. And there's the television behind him.
Yep.
But it was hard to be there, growing up.
Something viewer. I forget.
I don't know. But it was really hard to not get a little
nostalgic,
as Fonzie would put it, misty.
A little misty.
So, well, to Fred.
Yes. Did you just pour your second beer? I got to pour mine. We'll do it to Fred in a second. Why don't you tell everybody what you're drinking while I pour?
Oh, so I've broken into another Lolef.
Mm-hmm.
This one's called Stark.
Stark.
Well, I'm saying it Stark because I'm saying it the German way to pronounce it.
I said it like Sean Connery, but that's okay.
Stark.
Moneypenny.
Stark, just like your mother, Alex. No. But Stark is the German word for strong. So I'm wondering if they did that on purpose, because this is a German-style Heller Bock lager. This comes in at 4.9%. John's got the Corolla. And I've poured it into, well, this is actually my, my Spider Bite glass. But I thought it was appropriate glass for a Bock. Is it a good appropriate glass for a Bock?
It's very appropriate glass for a Bock.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Damn.
Good Bock, huh?
Yeah, so you know how you get like a nice you get a balance between the bitterness and the caramel in a good Bock.
Mm-hmm. That's it right there. I'm definitely gonna make sure I hit Lolev. I'll be out in Pittsburgh end of October. I'm going out to the Pittsburgh, the Steelers Giants game.
Last time was the Steelers Jets game.
Yeah, And of course, I wore my James Harrison jersey, my Steelers gear. Obviously, at the Giants game, I will not be wearing Pittsburgh Steelers gear. I will be wearing.
No, you better be wearing your Giants.
I'll be wearing Giants gear.
Hard time.
But Jess will be wearing Pittsburgh gear. So
there you go.
Because I stuck
because last time you wore Pittsburgh gear while she was wearing her Jets gear. Because last time we went there playing the Jets.
Right, and the Jets won.
Well, this time, so 2 times in a row you'll get to wear the losing jersey. Good for you.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, that was the plan all along, right? I mean, come on. Hey, I was into it with the Steelers crowd. In fact, I was, dare I say, more into it than some of the Steelers crowd that was around us. But in any event, so Stark is good. I am drinking. Speaking of German beers as well, I am drinking Das Bier. Das Bier from Heater Allen in McMillanville. McMinnville.
I've heard of them. I hear they do some decent stuff.
Heater Allen does some decent stuff. Yeah, they really do. I'd like to do a couple collabs with them and just get out there at some point. But yeah, this is a Kolsch. It's a 5% Kolsch, or Kolsch style, since it wasn't brewed in Cologne. Right. But Kolsch anyway. So there you
go. Köln as the German.
Köln. Koln. Köln.
Do little dots over the L.
No.
Köln? I thought Köln had the 2 little dots.
No, there's no umlauts.
No umlauts?
It's just KOL. Maybe it is actually.
I don't know.
I think it's called. Well, anyway, cheers to Fred.
Well, when I say that is because Kolsch, when actually spelled properly, I think has the umlaut.
Yes, I believe you're right. Yes.
So Köln has the umlaut.
That's where it is. So as you were saying before, cheers to Fred Rogers.
Cheers to Fred. Okay. One of the greatest human beings I think ever to walk the planet.
Absolutely amazing.
I love the fact that you get those memes and those shirts out there that have him, Steve Irwin, and Bob Ross all together.
Yes.
Right. It's just those are 3 of the greatest. You
ever know? I've said this before, and clearly the last 2 beers that I've had, the Druid Pills from Heist and this Heater Allen Kolsch, clearly I got them on Tavor, and we've had a Tavor show. We did a Tavor show. We did a beer by mail show with Guru a couple months ago. But every now and again, because most of the time I will order one.
This time you ordered more than one?
No, I didn't. I ordered of this. No, I in every crate I have probably a couple beers that I order 2 of, but it's to style, right? It's there's an alt beer I'm ordering 2. In the crate I have going right now, I order 2 alt beers, right? I mean, that's a given, right? Barley wines, sometimes I order 2, depending on how depending on how much they are with the ABV is, but
the markups.
There's different things I do or whatever, but this particular Kolsch, I got 1. I am again fuming pissed at myself that I did not get 2. This is a fantastic Kolsch.
Heater Allen Kolsch, and you think, just get 1. It'll be fine.
Yeah, from now on, John.
On you.
Mental note, John. Heater Allen, you get anything Heater Allen, 2. 3 even, but 2, at least 2. No less than 2. So there you go. Heater Allen. You know what? I
Not
literally
2,
need to.
Unless you're moving on to 3.
Right. Yeah.
4 is right now.
Right. Exactly. No less than 2 is my point. So.
I'm doing the Holy Hand Grenade skit.
Yes. Holy Hand Grenades. I literally want to take a trip to McMinnville, Oregon.
McMinnville, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how close that is to where Kat is. She's in Oregon.
Kat, are you near McMinnville, Oregon? Please let us know.
Let's see where it is.
I might have to send you some money.
McMinnville, Oregon is. It's not that far out of Portland.
Well, as big as they are, I would assume they're gettable in Portland.
Yes, more than likely. I would hope to think that I can find them when I'm in Seattle.
I would hope to think that I would hope to think. I would like to think that whatchamacallit, that good package stores, good beer stores in and around Portland would have at least as good of a selection as Tavor gets from Heater Allen. That
Ew.
basically, like, I'm able to get better beer from Heater Allen here in Jersey through Tavor than you can get out there.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. So we have a comment, and it is from Catherine. She says, "No, it's good. Dave took care of it."
Oh, she's talking about the last thing she said. He's talking about sending you more money to get some. Some Heater Allen.
Dave took care of it. I'll take care of that with him. But I'm talking about sending you more money to get some Heater Allen. Is what I'm talking about. And by the way, you have a box coming to you. I won't say anything on the air. We'll leave it at that.
There we go. So, but anyway, back to Pittsburgh.
Back to Pittsburgh.
Back to the.
Let's go back to PGH.
Back to PGH.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that both you guys did and we did was the funicular.
She said, "If you need anything else, let me know. We'll do, definitely. We'll talk after the show, Kat." Go ahead.
What do they call that thing? The funicular. They've got a name for it.
The Duquesne Incline.
The inclines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's two of them.
There's the Duquesne Incline and the Fort Washington Incline.
Yep. Mount Washington, isn't it? Or is it Fort Washington?
Fort Washington.
From Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So we went up that one. I think we went up the Quesney one.
Duquesne. And it's spelled, if you take the Q and change it to an F, it's Dufresne, like Andy Dufresne from.
But there's but you can take the Q U out and put the FR, right? Dufresne.
Yeah, you got to take the Q. You got to take the Q U and put the FR. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that in there.
So Duquesne Incline, yes. That's I've never gone up the Fort Washington Incline. The Duquesne Incline I've done three or more times already. So it's cool. It's pretty. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty neat up there, unless it's 94 degrees out.
That's always an issue.
Which was the temperature almost every single day we were there.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, there you have it.
Oh, it was awful. But no, so we went up there, and it's funny because we were geocaching up there, and we noticed these two guys kind of milling about where we were milling about, and then I could overhear them looking at their phones, going, "It should be right over there." I'm like, "You're looking for the same thing we're looking for." It turned out that the space where the geocache was supposed to be was a signpost. The signpost was gone.
Really?
Because I actually said it to the person who hit it, I'm like, where they've got this traffic cone, is that where your geocache should be? He's like, yep, that's where it should have been. He goes, well, this is a new development. So he's moved out of state, so he archived the thing in geocache speak, but it doesn't work anymore. But that was cool being up there. It's a great view of the city, but they said the best time to be up there is at night, to see the city all lit up. And John's now going to go find a picture from.
I'm actually doing that.
I know, you're predictable. From being up there, I've got my pictures from being up there, but it's cool.
I'm just showing. It's not even at night. I'm just one picture is just that I took is just phenomenal from the incline. Hold on,
So that was fun. Up there and then right back down again, and then going around. What was interesting is we did, when we first got into town, we went and found lunch.
That's going up the incline right there. Yeah,
that's it right there.
You're about to go up it right there.
And what's interesting is as one side goes up, the other comes down. They counter with each other.
They counter each other. It's awesome.
Yep. And if you're just listening at about 4:30, John and I are doing these things with our hands to show you.
Exactly. And what we call that's up at the top of the mountain right there. The
Iron City
beer.
I thought they said beef.
Iron City beef. Iron City beer. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Well, it's either Iron City or Bridge City, right? Pittsburgh has two nicknames.
So that's a whole station right there. The view up there going up.
You can see the top station up there. It's neat. It's slow.
It's very slow, but it's cool.
But it's ancient, right? Because this is these were built in the 40s?
Yeah,
30s, 40s, I believe.
Yeah.
To support the people who lived up on Mount Washington to get down to their jobs down in the valley. Did learn one thing, and actually
It's commuting. It wasn't built for tourism. It was built for, okay, I live up at the top of the mountain. I work down at the bottom of the mountain. I got to get down there. That's what it was.
Yeah, pretty much. And did learn in the Andy Warhol. Did you go to the Andy Warhol Museum while you were there?
I did not.
It's really neat.
I was busy in liquor establishment. But she went to Andy Warhol. I did not. Well, it was also, she actually did a whirlwind tour of it too. It was closing in like 25 minutes when we got over there. The one time we were there, that didn't go. So she's like, I'm just going to go. I'm going to go through it. You do what you got to do. Bing, bang, boom. And she met me afterwards. But
no, we went through it, we read a lot of the stuff that was going on. You did learn some more history of Pittsburgh. Primarily,
that's the view from the top, and that's me and Jess too. But that's the view from the top.
There you go.
It's gorgeous.
But the
what I was looking.
One thing we learned is, because Pittsburgh sits down the valley, the confluence of three rivers. Well, it's the confluence of two rivers becoming one river. Right. It's the Monongahela and another one becoming
Allegheny.
And the Allegheny becoming the Ohio, or it's Monongahela and the Ohio becoming the Allegheny.
No, it's the Monongahela and the Allegheny becoming the Ohio.
The Ohio. So the steel production at the time, especially in World War II, they were cranking so hard that during the day, it was pitch black out. Because all the smoke, all the smog. And even though they had started putting in...
Is Kerry backing up?
No. Apparently, we have a fire alarm going on.
Is that right?
There's a fire emergency, and it's funny because the recording tells you to evacuate the building.
Right.
But if you evacuate the building, the fire department will yell at you because we are a shelter-in-place building.
Right.
So we're not ending the podcast. We'll just go through, and you'll just have to deal with.
Well, this is interesting. This is interesting. It's
a first.
It adds character to it.
It's a first.
Been fire. There's been fire sirens on the podcast before.
Yep.
From the firehouse around the corner from Dave, but never a fire alarm. There you go.
But do me a favor.
I thought a truck was backing up in your living room.
It does sound like a truck backing up. I actually thought that was coming from outside, but no, it's the fire alarm. We'll hear the trucks eventually because the truck's got to come and make sure everything's clear before they can.
And you know what? I got to be honest with you. If somebody does checking of each apartment and somebody comes in, no, I'm saying if they do. And they do come in, you got to get one of them on the show.
There we go. Hey, come with me.
Come here a minute. Come here.
No, they're going to come in. They're going to talk to the super of the building. If it was set off in one particular apartment, they'll go to the department. And usually what it is?
Cooking.
It's usually the kids smoking marijuana in the stairwells.
Well, I mean, there's that too.
That's usually what sets them off. So anyway, enough of that. Let's try to ignore this for now. But John, do me a favor.
What's that?
If you see the door behind me start to bow and swell like it's breathing, please let me know.
If I see the door behind you start to bow and swell like it's breathing, I'm going to look for Ron Howard and a film crew. Okay.
And because if it's doing that, I'm going to jump in the bathtub.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I think, and this is based on experience, I think that you might smell the smoke before you see the door bowing and swelling.
Very possible.
Just gonna guess.
More than likely. So, but anyway, what were we so the Andy Warhol Museum. And
Andy Warhol. You gotta go back to the Andy Warhol.
The pollution in Pittsburgh, and that if they had environmental controls in place for the country. But because Pittsburgh was so important to the war effort, they did not put them into place into Pittsburgh for a while. Right. Well after the war. So the one thing I learned is that Pittsburgh created more steel than all the Axis powers combined. Pittsburgh itself.
Okay.
So that's pretty impressive. So,
that is very impressive, actually.
Okay, so this is not working for me. I just cannot do earbuds.
You're putting the headphones back on?
The headphones are going back on. I was wearing the earbuds so I could wear the hat without issue. So I'm going to take these off. And let's see. I'm going to... How do I shut this off? Okay, so we're going to disconnect these. Yes, I know they're disconnected. I love it. Totally disconnected. Okay, back to my comfort zone.
Back to your comfort zone. There you go.
Okay, that's better.
There you go.
I can still hear the fire alarm though, even with the.
I've been here the whole time. Hold on. What did she say? May I have your attention, please? There's a fire alarm. There's a fire emergency in the building. Please evacuate the building via the nearest exit. Please do not use the elevators.
Yes,
that's what
that's what they're saying. And Carrie must have stuck her head out into the hallway because she can smell that someone burnt something badly in their kitchen. So
yeah, it's. I mean, that's this time of night. I would say unattended cooking.
Yeah. Fun.
Silencing the alarm might be a nice thing for. Yeah.
Well, they're not going to silence the alarm until the fire department comes in, inspects.
Right, but they're right around the corner, so I'd imagine they were there already, or at least.
Have you heard them yet?
No, but the battalion chief would have gotten there.
Well, he comes in screaming too.
Does he?
Oh, the battalion chief has got a really good alarm on his truck.
What's amazing is they're right around the corner, and they're paid, and they live there, and they're not there yet. That's what I'm curious.
Well, no, because they're probably sitting there going,
this place again.
All right, fine. I'm not even bringing my Scott back this time.
Yeah.
And the one time that they have that attitude is the one time the place is burning down.
Right? Yeah. Of
course.
It
always happens that way.
Of course.
So, at any rate, we're back to Pittsburgh.
Yes. Yeah, back to Pittsburgh.
But yeah, so the Warhol Museums, because someone told us actually, Roller at Human Robot said, "Do not leave Pittsburgh without going to the Warhol Museum." So we went to the Warhol Museum. It's very cool. It is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that.
There they are.
There they are. Now we get
here. He comes. There he is.
And that's battalion chief's car. You can hear that.
That's the battalion chief's car. Yeah.
That's not a truck. That's the car. It's so bad that John and I could both determine what is going by just by the siren itself.
Well,
it's you were in the business. I've just lived here long enough.
Right.
So the other thing that we did in Pittsburgh is sporting events, the museums, the statuary, the incline, and some of the other things we did in Pittsburgh was breweries.
Oh, breweries! Yeah, they do have a few of them out there.
They've got a few of them. It's like a friggin' bee's nest of breweries in Pittsburgh.
Where did you get to? Where? Give me the bird's eye view of the list of the fermentories that you did.
Well, the first place we went to is when we rolled into town. We were starving because we thought that we were going to get to Blowfish, but Blowfish was closed. Mm-hmm. So we rolled into town. We went to Urban Tap, and I got to tell you, probably the best food we had. Okay, here's one thing about Pittsburgh. There's a reason they've got such a great food truck culture. Mm-hmm. It's not a culinary destination. Pittsburgh, by any means, is a culinary destination. But
there's gems. You need to find them.
Yes, but it's not like being in New York or Nashville or some other places where it's really hard to go wrong. With a lot of things. You got to look for the places that suck. This place, Pittsburgh, is a little thin on it, and it's funny because I talked to some of the Pittsburghians. I guess that's Pittsburghers.
Pittsburghians. I'm going to go with because they're Pittsburghians. Yeah,
Pittsburghians. And I talked to them a little bit about the food, and they're like
Pittsburghers. I like that.
Pittsburgh, and they're like, yeah, we're really not known for our cuisine here. And one person put it perfectly. He's like, yeah, if you're coming from Pittsburgh for Primanti Brothers, it tells you something about our cuisine. And it's, right. But I'll tell you what, I did have some good food there. Urban Tap on the south side. I had the shrimp and grits were amazing.
I love shrimp and grits.
John, if you get back, go to Urban Tap, get the shrimp and grits. They've got some this andouille kind of salad. It's not salad, but this chopped up stuff.
I had that. I had almost the same dish. What andouille sausage, shrimp and grits at Harpoon Willie's down in Swan, the Mass Swan section of Wall. Yeah.
But there's
right by the Mascon Inlet there, right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that was really, really good. But after that, we're now going to the hotel, and Google's taking us not on the main drag, the direct route. So it must have been like, okay, you're going to get stuck at a lot of lights. Let's go this way. So we just followed Google.
Right.
I'm kind of glad I did, because we're driving along, and all of a sudden, Vellum Brewery. What the? Turned the car around, parked, and had some beer there. And it's interesting because they are in the old Duquesne Brewing building.
Nice.
So if you're in downtown Pittsburgh, or on Rabbit Hill, and you're looking across down the south side, and you see that ginormous clock.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's Duquesne Brewing's clock.
That's Duquesne Brewing's clock. Yeah, absolutely.
It's still there, but that old building.
Hey, it stopped.
I told you, as soon as they get here, they'll take it down. So Vellum opened in their building, and this place is huge, absolutely huge. So they've got all kinds of like meeting rooms in there, private rooms that you can use. There's one portion of the brewery which has 2 pickleball courts in it.
Really?
So they've got a pickleball club that plays there, and they were playing while we were there. So we went to Vellum, then checked in our hotel, and then we walked just due west of our hotel, and Levity Brewing, which is out of another town out in Pennsylvania, or they're from Virginia. They've got a trailer. They got a trailer right at the dog park.
Really?
And it's meant for the dog park because there's 2 sides to the trailer. The one side, there's a seating area with tables and all that for people who would just walk up. The other side, the fence for the dog park comes up and surrounds the trailer from there.
Right.
So that you can be in the dog park and get your beer anyway with your dog next to you, which is really cool. I think that's really cool. And Levity makes some pretty good beers. So that was fun, but it was way too hot to sit out there and drink a beer.
Right.
Had to have the one because they're also right across the street from Hofbrauhaus.
Right, of course.
And John has sung their praises before, said you got to get the Schwartz beer. You can only get the Schwartz beer in February. It is so they've got the 3 beers there. They've got the Weizen.
They always have it. They either have the Maibach or the Marzen, depending on the time of year.
Right, but the Marzen's one of the monthlies. They have the 2 standards. Is the Weiss beer,
the Hefeweiss, yeah, the Weiss,
the Heffa, and then I think the Helles.
The Helles Lager, yeah.
Those are the 2 they always have. They also had their anniversary beer on, but every month they have a 4th beer. The first Wednesday of every month is when they introduce this beer, and they do it with some pomp and circumstance, John.
Oh yeah.
And we just happened to stumble in. We're supposed to go to Golden Age Brewing that day, and it's like it just didn't feel like driving back out. Let's just walk up the road. I'm so glad we made this choice because we go in there, and they're getting the parade all set up. And
is that a firefighter coming up?
It's probably all the neighbors having this talk to each other about what happened.
I'm curious. I want to know.
Actually, I'm trying to listen to what's going on up there.
If you, it's too bad you know your
phone.
Hold
on. I'll be right back.
I'll be right. Yeah, I'll vamp for a minute as Dave goes and checks what actually happened and who actually burnt the food for dinner. I'm curious as to what exactly happened. Neighbors walking in. So this is pretty interesting. Live. Up. Dave's back already. All right. What was it?
They're going to door now to try to figure out which apartment it was that set it off. So no, I'm not going to ask the guy to come on the podcast while he's doing his job.
Damn it! You should have tried.
He's out there banging on doors. Fire department, open the door. So
fire department, where's the fire? What is he saying?
I couldn't hear that.
Was it the firefighter? Or was it
that was Carrie.
It was Carrie. All right.
So at any rate.
There you
go. Back to
Hofbrauhaus. So they do a pomp and circumstance. They got
this whole parade together. They've got somebody with an accordion, some guy with a tuba. they've got the brewmaster and the assistant brewmaster, and they wheel out a cask.
Mm-hmm.
And they take the cask to the stage, and what they do is then they have a master of ceremonies who is someone who's just, they meant, can I do it? Sure, you can do it. And they give them the hammer to knock the bung in.
Right.
And this guy got in 4, so not too bad. One guy in line with me, he goes, yeah, sometimes these guys take up to 10 shots to get that thing in there. So this guy got it in 4. And what's cool is if you get on the line that's not the parade line, if you get to the left and you jump on line there, and the bartender told us this, and this guy that I was sitting next to, Mark, he goes, yeah, if you get on line, you can get a pour from the cask. I'm like, well, when can I get a pour here? He goes, as soon as they tap the cask, we start pouring here as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, then why would I get online? He goes, because here I have to charge you. If you get online, that's a free beer.
That works.
I'm like, free beer.
I'm getting in line, yes.
I got in line. So, and the guy I was talking to online.
Quick aside, never happened in New Jersey.
Yeah, never. So, but the
legally, never happened.
Yeah, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. But the guy I was online with, he gave up. He says, I don't think we're going to get a pour. We're too far back. I got my pour.
Awesome.
I got my pour. But what's really cool is the one thing that I've seen it done many times. I've never been to a place that actually has done it. Mm-hmm. The band on stage, every now and then, they get everybody singing a German drinking song. And at the very end of the German drinking song, what do you think they did?
Ziggy zaggy, oi, oi, oi.
He did the ziggy zaggy, and everybody did the hoi hoi
oi, 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 yeah.
And then they do that 3 times and go 1, 2, 3, Prost, and then everyone would drink.
Down, right.
And I have
been there for that, enjoyed it thoroughly.
How fun is that place?
It's amazing. I love that place.
It is so much fun to sit there and drink and just have a real. And it's funny because we got there, they're like, oh, well, we don't have any tables open. And they were going to put us in what we were referring to as the quiet room, which is the salon off to the side.
Right.
And so Carrie went in looking around the bar, and there's 2 open seats, but they're not next to each other. Yeah. So she kindly asked a few people if they could move over. They moved over, and then we started talking to Mark and Jen. They're the ones who moved for us, and that was a good time. And talking to Mark and Jen might actually get us a guest on the Anna Chaser show, because he gave me a contact for Brookholo Distilling.
There you go.
So that's cool. But that was our 3rd beer that I had, and that was a lot of fun. So John, you've experienced that place.
I have several times, and it's a great place. I love it.
We didn't eat there, though, because we'd eaten already.
I did eat there. And I'll give you 3 guesses what I've eaten there.
Worst, and worst, and maybe a pretzel.
I've had the pretzel, and I've had the pretzel, I've had the worst platter, and I've had bratwurst on its own. There you go. That's what
yeah. Worst, and pretzel.
Worst, and pretzel. There you go.
That was fun.
Good. Moving on to your 3rd beer, are you?
Well, I was just too busy out there. I can finish now.
There you go. So I'm going to pour mine, and it's a brand new beer. And I'll be honest with you, I actually saved having this because we haven't released it yet.
Ooh. When he says we, this must be a Coastal Brewworks beer.
To have it the first time on the show. So this is the first time I'm actually having this beer. So tell us what you're having first. Oh, by the way, while you put that together, Kat just said, yes, Heater Allen is good. I can send you a variety of Pacific Northwest Pilsners so you can taste them all. I love you, Kat.
That wouldn't stop. Don't threaten me.
Yeah, really. Right.
Okay, so what I've got here is one of the places I went was Grist House.
I've never heard of that.
I've been told many times that you go to Pittsburgh, there's definitely 2 breweries that you need to get to: Grist House and
Dancing Gnome.
And I've got to say, as impressed as I am with both of them, not my favorite places to drink in Pittsburgh.
Is that right?
Yeah. Grist House was a sour milkshake IPA house.
Is that right? Because that's a shame. And
they had 1 lager on while I was there.
That's too bad. You went at the wrong time.
I went at the wrong time. So but you know, I got to say one thing: the Hazadelic Juice Bomb, absolutely delicious. But you know, I'm kind of over the whole IPA scene.
So am I. That's why I'm drinking what I'm drinking tonight.
Yeah, but so I said anyway. But the one thing I did get, I didn't want to drink it there because I was driving,
Mm-hmm.
and it is their 10th anniversary reserve.
And I'm jealous because I haven't had that. So
If you're nice to me, maybe I'll give you one.
I'll try and be nice to you.
This is an 11.2% barrel aged imperial stout. And so I really did want to get this because everything that they had in the cool chest were IPAs.
Sure.
It's like I just had your IPA. Let's see, blended from a selection of Horse Soldier, Heaven Hills, and Four Roses bourbon barrels.
Nice.
It's been aged 24 to 38 months and consists. That's a range.
24 to 38. Absolutely. That's amazing.
And consists of several different base beers, each bringing something. So this is a cuvee.
Mm-hmm.
So it says expect a full-bodied stout with moderate sweetness, plenty of bourbon and barrel character, and flavors ranging from dark chocolate, dark fruit, and toasted marshmallows. So let's see if how they describe it matches what's actually in the beer. Oh, you can smell the bourbon right away. The barrel, John knows that barrel aged stouts are one of my favorite styles.
Mm-hmm.
And this smell that I'm getting here, so you know how that bourbon and the chocolate malts can come together and give you that toasted coconut kind of
100%. Yep.
That's the nose right there. Yeah, you're not getting there again. Fuck, that is full-bodied. Absolutely. This is THIQQ.
Nice. Very nice.
This be thick. This be luscious. This be... Oh, this is gorgeous.
Mm.
That is gorgeous. The dark chocolate, yes. Toasted coconut, absolutely. Barrel, you get this nice little vanilla note from the wood, and the bourbon's there. But there's this thing is this is dangerous. This does not taste like 11.2. It feels like an 11.2 in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Those really big stouts.
But the flavors you're getting don't taste like it's 11.2.
There's no heat. There's almost like a graham cracker.
That's a beautiful thing. When you can actually do that, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. You've done your job well. When a brewer can blend like that and make that beer like that. If I will ask you this. If I don't get one, can I at least have a sip of one?
I want to show you something here, what the beer is doing. I'm going to pull my camera off and show you right here. You can see the ring.
Oh, yeah.
That is just bubbling up from the bottom like that.
Yep.
It's mesmerizing.
It is. It's
so
amazing.
the beer itself is still active. It's very well carbonated. It's perfectly carbonated because it still has that full body. You know how sometimes you get an imperial stout that they've over-carbonated and it makes it thin in body? Yep. No, they've managed to have this actively carbonated. Because a lot of those beers that have that full body rely on them being mostly flat.
There's no carb in them,
right?
At all.
This beer is not. It's not flat whatsoever, but it's still that almost motor oil consistency.
That's beautiful.
Okay, my top three's changed again.
All right, there you go. I've had it. There you go.
I'm gonna have 10,000 honorable mentions.
I was gonna say I'm yeah. So you do you. That's fine. My beer. Okay. Now I've had, as you know, we have a beer. Coastal has a beer called Philosophial. It's a rotating hop series. The first one we did was Ruaka and Strata.
Right. That was a lovely beer.
It was a lovely beer. The second one we did is being released next week. We just canned it. And it is the Galaxy and Nectaron are the hops in this one.
Oh, that's just peachy.
It's very peachy. Nice tropical citrus, a little bit of passion fruit, and a bunch of peach and nectarine. I put it in. Hold on, I put it in proper glassware.
Did you? Oh, you have one of those?
I do.
Where'd you get one of those?
I know a guy.
You must know somebody.
I do. So.
Oh, you know what? I have one of those as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there. You know what? I know a guy.
You know a guy.
Actually, I know 3 guys.
You know a few guys. But yeah, this is really good. I'm sorry, I'm not blowing smoke up my own ass, but this is really good.
You're blowing smoke up Dennis's ass.
Matt's, John's,
Dennis.
A little bit of my own, mostly theirs. This is wow. Yeah, when we release this, go get it. And I'm not saying that because I want you to buy it. I mean, I want you to buy it, but I'm not saying that. Don't skip this. Get it.
You may have to save me some because I don't know if I can get down there before I go to Seattle.
We'll figure it out.
Figure something out.
Yeah. And next week we have another. We have our second double New England coming out next week.
Is it another special seahorse?
Nope. And brand new beer.
Brand
spanking new beer.
And what's the name of this one?
It's called Shooting Sea Star.
Shooting Sea Star.
Mm-hmm.
What gauge weapon would you use to shoot a Sea Star?
I would use just a rubber band pea shooter. I'm good.
That's all you really need.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Well, Sea Stars you can pretty much hunt with a hammer.
You can.
Yeah, they don't move that fast.
Not so much.
No.
But yeah, this is and it's an 8% double New England with Citra, El Dorado, and Cashmere.
Well,
and I just had some off of the tank today, and let me tell you something. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Yeah.
Coastal Brew Works is turning itself into an IPA house.
No, we're gonna do some. We're the next beer.
I've been teasing you about that.
Then I know the next beer we brew though is this one right there.
Would that be that can that I took to Freising, Germany with me?
That would be correct. That's Freising Tide. That's the next
Tide.
beer we're brewing. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Cool.
We got some interesting non-IPA stuff coming out in the next couple months too. So
awesome.
Yeah, but the IPA game is strong with
waiting for Twilight to come back out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait till mid-November, but yes.
I thought you were gonna brew it. You teased that you might brew it sooner.
Had to do some other stuff.
Got voted down.
Okay. We got some September and October beers to brew before we do that one. So
okay.
Yeah. So but good stuff coming. Don't worry. You will be enjoying what you're drinking while you're waiting. How's that?
Cool. Speaking of IPA houses, Dancing Gnome.
Yes, let's go to Dancing Gnome.
They are very much an IPA house, but but they throw some lagers in there.
They do.
They had an Italian lager on that was pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I've had better, but they were pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
But their I just had a couple of their IPAs because you go to Dancing Gnome and don't drink an IPA, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
But right around the corner from them is Hitchhiker.
By the way, I didn't put up the crawl for that beer. I just
there it is. Around the corner from them, down the road and around the corner is Hitchhiker Brewing.
Hitchhiker, yes. Hitchhiker's fun. Hitchhiker's fun.
They're fun. It's one of those, I like to call them like the gritty breweries where there's no flash.
I get it. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the building they're in, it's gritty. But the beer's good and the scene is pretty, the vibe is pretty nice there.
Yeah. The vibe's cool. It's a cool hang. When you get a place like that, you're not attracting the people who, are asking, well, what red wine do you have?
Right.
You're getting beer drinkers.
Yeah.
To a place like that, craft beer drinkers. So it was a cool place to hang out. Enjoyed that, and actually enjoyed their beer. They had a stout on that I enjoyed.
Nice.
That may have possibly made my list until I drank the 3 beers on this show.
Just move some more into honorable mentions.
Just move that down. I may bring that up later, but that was a cool place to be. That was fun, and then after that was when we went to Low Lev.
Right.
We crossed the river, went to Low Lev. Then so it's hot. Now this is July the 4th. I'm talking. This was Independence Day. So we go to Low Lev. the beer tender's fiance was there with their dog. The dog was so cool. I can't remember the dog's name. Carlos. Its name was Carlos.
The dog's name was Carlos.
Yes, dog's name was Carlos. Dog
right.
was cool. Low Lev's a cool hang too because it's kind of like a like the West Village, where it's you got like different rooms and different places to sit, which is cool. But then if you want to get a little grittier, then you get to Coven. And what was really cool is that Coven was supposed to have a food truck that day.
Okay.
And the food truck canceled on it.
On the 4th of July.
On the 4th of July.
Not a good thing.
So we get there, and out the back of the brewery, they've got this Weber pot grill. And there's two guys out there grilling hot dogs. And we're thinking, okay, so maybe it's staff who are making some hot dogs for themselves. So we start talking to him, like, you grilling in this heat? He's like, and the guy looks at me, he's like, my food truck canceled on me, so, I got to feed my customers on 4th of July. It's the owner of the brewer, Trevor, is out back grilling hot dogs, putting them on buns, and bringing them into the tasting room for his guests.
By the way, this is foreshadowing. Trevor will be on the show in September.
He was trying to get him on the show. And what was even cooler about it is he goes, yeah, go in and have some hot dogs, because there's all kinds of like snacks in there too, because when their regular customers found out the food truck had canceled, all the regulars brought snacks for everybody with them.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And that's what you love to hear this in a brewery, because you know that they are embedded in their neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their regulars. You've got an owner that cares about his customers. And he's out there in 94 degrees heat over a grill.
Nice.
And Carrie will tell you those hot dogs may have been the best thing she ate when she was in Pittsburgh.
There you go.
And you know what? Their beer does not suck.
All right.
They do some pretty damn good beers.
I'm gonna have to swing by there in October. I'm definitely going to swing by there.
Yeah, Low Lev and Coven. If you're missing Low Lev and Coven when you go to Pittsburgh, I get it, because there's so many other places you may want to hit. But you get there, and you know what? They're not too far from Trace. We went to Trace next. Trace, I think because it was the 4th of July, I think that their tap offerings were lacking. Like, you've been there, John, right?
I've been there 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
How many taps did they have?
A lot.
I think they had 8 beers on while we were there.
Yeah, they're lacking. Did you have any coffee while you were there?
No, we don't have any coffee.
You should have had a cup of coffee, because the coffee game is pretty cool too.
I'm not even sure that they were serving coffee when we were there.
Well, it was 94 degrees out, so maybe
yeah. So there's a bunch of puppers there.
I have been there in July, and they did have coffee, but it wasn't 94 degrees. So.
It was brutal. I don't know what we did after. I think that was our last brewery of the day that day. I think we went home after that, because I was driving, so I didn't really want to drink too much.
Gotcha.
So the next day was the game, and I think you remember I put this up in the group that Johnny and I are in. There is a sports bar outside the stadium called McFadden's. If you are not 20 and like to suck down the aluminum cans of Bud and Bud Light, avoid the place like the plague. Oh, John, one thing I didn't mention about that?
What's that?
I actually managed to leave one of my credit cards in Pittsburgh. Guess where I left it?
At McFadden's.
At McFadden's, yeah.
Was it sticky when you got it back?
No, I didn't. No. I've just got to cancel. Like, they can frame the thing as far as I care. I'm not going back to get it. I didn't realize that until I got home that I was missing one.
Gotcha.
But Fuda Brewing's there. They've got Southern Tier. We couldn't get into Southern Tier. The line was out the damn door.
Is that right?
Yeah. This is their whole area between the baseball stadium and the football stadium.
Right. And by the way, right here, that's outside of McFadden's. A few years ago. That's me going to Pittsburgh. That's me wearing Mets gear, going to a Pirates Mets game, and that's Darren Meenan, the owner, basically, of the 7-Line Army.
Cool.
There. And we're outside McFadden's at PNC Park right there. So.
Yeah, and the thing about McFadden's, Make sure your shoes are laced tightly because the stickiness of the floor will pull your
Yeah, you
shoes
don't
right
want
off the feet.
your laces to be touching the floor. You want them to double knot them, tuck them in, whatever you want to do.
Oh, that floor will pull your shoes right off your feet if you're
You know
not
what?
tied
You
on
know
properly.
what? McFadden's at City Field was decent. It was decent. It's
Yes.
not McFadden's anymore. It's the K Corner bar.
Yeah.
It's the K Corner bar, and more on that later if we even want to delve into that.
Yeah, but whatever. I'm done bitching about that. But you also have Voodoo Brewing's there. Like I said, Southern Tier's got a spot there.
Voodoo Brewing has a spot between the two stadiums too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Voodoo is there.
Because Voodoo, that's got to be new. Because Voodoo, the closest Voodoo was down in Homestead, about 5 miles away.
Nope,
which is a really cool location, by the way, too. Down there. I'm gonna turn the crawl off. People know what I'm drinking.
Yeah. So Voodoo was there. We went in there. And was it Louis? Something Louis. There's a lot of places there. There's this one group.
There's a lot of places between PNC Park and Heinz Field. And I'm sorry, I'm not calling it Acrisure Stadium. It's Heinz Field.
It's Heinz Field. Or Three Rivers. Three Rivers and
Three Rivers was in between. Three Rivers is where the
all these buildings are. What I'm talking about. Yeah. The parking lots are. Yes.
That was where the parking lots and where Southern Tier is. That was part of it too. That was Three Rivers Stadium. They built Heinz Field and they built PNC Park and then they demolished Three Rivers Stadium.
So now on the other side of the stadium, so if you're coming in and you're walking over the Roberto Clemente Bridge, that side of the stadium, there is a bar.
And what's the name of the next gold bridge, one block over from Roberto Clemente Bridge?
One of them's the Rachel Carson, and the other's the Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol. It's the Andy Warhol's the next one.
Yeah, those are the three. But if you go across Roberto Clemente, the side of the stadium that you are on, there is a bar there. It is a whiskey bar. Run by Wiggle.
Yep.
And,
WIGLE too. WIGLE.
Yeah, yep. Only one G.
Only one G.
And I got to say, their bourbon game's pretty damn strong, Johnny. I had the cask strength bourbon, the cask strength rye.
I'm glad you said strength. I thought you said castrate bourbon. I'm like, I don't know if I want to drink that. I'm going to hold off on that one.
It's aged on Rocky Mountain oysters.
There you go.
But oh no, those were really. It was really cool because this one guy ordered something, and he asked for a shaker pint with it. Took some Cholula Chipotle, and starts lining the glass with it, and then takes what he orders and tosses it into the glass with some beer. I'm like, and I look across the bar at him. He looks at me, holds it up. I'm like, Michelada. He goes, Michelada. He made a Michelada right at the bar for him. So nice. Really got it cool. But yeah. Oh, and Carrie had the Bloody Mary there, which she absolutely enjoyed because it's a pickle Bloody Mary.
You know what? I've had one, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, and that pickle, because they spiced the hell out of that pickle.
Yeah. It's tangy.
It's just big.
Yep. Hey, you do you. All right.
But no, that was I think of our drinking excursion prior to the game. I think that was the highlight right there.
Nice.
But when you get into Three Rivers, some of the best beer is at the Fat Heads bar. The Fat Heads bar is in left field.
It's in left field, yeah.
We sat in right field, but I walked over and got beer from the Fat Heads bar.
Gotcha.
Because otherwise, you can get icy anywhere.
Yeah, I've never had an icy light, and they actually have icy mango.
Yes, they do.
And I did not have that. But yeah, I've had several Iron City. You're in Pittsburgh. You have to have an Iron City beer.
You have to have an Iron City, and if you're going to risk it and go to Primanti Brothers, it must be washed down with an Iron City.
Right. And
Actually,
again,
appropriately icy light.
Don't get
the Pittsburgher.
Now that you've told me that you got the Salisbury steak Pittsburgher, I never tried it, and I'm glad I didn't. Based on what you told me, you got to get the one with the capicola on it. The Italian Primanti Brothers with the capicola on it. That's the sandwich you need. I think it's actually called capicola.
It is called capicola. I wish you told me this before I went. You just said you had to go to Primanti Brothers. That's all you told me.
So
You didn't give me enough info, John.
I didn't give the info. Sorry. All right. So let me hit you with a few things before we do the top threes. All right. So you did not get the Cinderlands, I'm assuming.
No, did not get the Cinderlands, and I hear they're one of the better ones.
Cinderlands is good. They have the food's decent at the one location. The food house is the beer is pretty spot on. Is any of their beers making my top three now? But the beer is overall spot on.
You just gave away the top three. Like I haven't been doing it all fucking show.
I know. Whatchamacallit? Did you go by Church Brewworks at least to look in?
No, didn't bother.
You should have actually just checked it out. You didn't have to have a beer or do anything other than walk in, look around, walk out. But you should have gone
in. So this guy I used to hang out with all the time, Vin and I, we would do this thing where we'd drive around and we'd find bars, we'd walk in. The rule was you had to have one beer there, no matter what the place looked like.
Yeah, I mean you could do that. I mean,
hey, I'm trying to finish this. I'm not done yet. Okay. So we went to this one place called the Wander Inn. I forget where the hell it was. We walk in. The place looks nice. It has nothing to do with what the place looks like. There's one corner where there's 3 guys sitting there, and they're sitting at the bar like this, just staring into their beers. Just like, and the bartender's just kind of like standing there. We walk in. They all look up, and this is kind of the look they gave us. And it was one of those where it was just like a telepathic communication between us, which we're both in our head screaming, "No,
exactly."
No, because it's like I'm not drinking with the children of the corn.
No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
And so we looked around, and I just went, "That son of a bitch isn't in here either." And we turned and walked out.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
My buddy was like, "That was quick thinking."
That was good. We got a comment from Mirbach Brigeri. Mirbach, please let me know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Actually,
hello from Norway.
Isn't brewery just Norwegian for brewery?
I think it is actually. Mirbach Brewery, Brigeri. Let us know if we're saying it right and if it is Norwegian for brewery. But hello from Norway on our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Absolutely, we tune in every Tuesday night. I know it's late over in Norway, but you're gonna want to watch next week. You're gonna want to watch next week.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
next
fun
week's
one.
special. Next week's special. And it's Norwegian for a brewery. There you go.
Mirbach. I wonder
Mirbach Brewery. Is. So is that the name of your brewery? Let us know that as well. But yeah, definitely if you're still at the brewery or you're sitting around and you're on the YouTube channel on next Tuesday night, you're going to want to watch that. It's our Christmas in July. It's going to be a fun show. You're going to want to watch.
It's going to be a fun one.
But thank you for watching. Cheers to you. Thank you.
Cheers to Norway.
Thank you to Norway. Absolutely. And he said, Jep. Jep, thank you very much for watching. Jep. And yeah, tune in next week. Comment in. It's a Christmas in July. It's the two of us, and it's our esteemed colleagues, if you will, Brew Guru and Beer Whisperer. We do it every year. It's our Christmas in July. Amazing beer we're having on it, and amazing conversation. We'd love for you to comment in on that as well.
John, Jep just means yep.
Jep. Okay.
It just means yep. It's not a name.
Yep. I thought it was a name.
That's what I was thinking. You thought no, it's just Norwegian for
even better. Yep. Watch it. But how do you know that's not what I was saying? Yep. Watch it next week.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
There you go.
I'm sure.
Seriously.
Very cool. Very cool.
If your name is Mirbach or well, it's not brewery or yep. I understand that, but seriously, no. All kidding aside, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Love it that we're reaching to Norway, and definitely please tune in next week. And we want you to comment in on the Christmas in July show as well.
Yeah, and apologies if you check in late and John can't operate the keyboard anymore. Apologies ahead of time.
That might be a problem, but hopefully not. We'll go from there. All right.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
So we're talking about some of the other places we drank there, right? You were talking about
Cinderlands
and the church.
Now you didn't get to 4 Points either.
Did not get the 4 Points.
4 Points is really good. They're making some decent beer over there. You got to the main ones. You didn't get to Indeed.
Did not get to Indeed.
Indeed's not far away from Old Thunder. Indeed's probably only about maybe a third of a mile, quarter of a mile away from Old Thunder.
Well, by the time we got to Old Thunder, we had been to a bunch of breweries because we had hit Grist House at that point.
Yep.
And then we went to Strange Roots.
Yep, I was going to say you did go to Strange Roots though, because I think we have a guest coming on.
We may have a guest coming from there. They've got a beer tender there who is suffers from an excess of personality. Let's put it that way. It's
going to be a fun show.
Oh, he's a blast. Loved talking to him. It was great. But as much as the shrimp and grits were great at Urban Tap, the chopped meat sandwich there was so good. That was delicious. Their food there. It's the was Steel City Sandwich Shop or something like that? Iron City Sandwich? Steel City Sandwichers. I forget what it's called.
Steel City Sandwich.
It's a Steel City Sandwich. They're doing some great work there. So go there hungry.
Yeah.
Go there hungry. The food there is really good. We went to Old Thunder, and from the sandwiches and the beers that I'd had, we were too full to go on any further from any place else. We had to go back.
Literally, Indeed was probably maybe a 3-minute drive around.
Yeah, but there was no place to put the beer, John. It was just full. And Old Thunder is cool, and we've got to talk to our friends at Double Tap, because Old Thunder is an old post office.
Fair enough. Yeah, it is.
And it'd be really cool if those two did like some sort of collab.
It is a really cool space at Old Thunder.
It's a very cool space. They've got the old postmaster's office is still there. The safe is still there. It's for me, the place was a little too corporately sterile, if you know what I mean.
It's a little sterile, but it's cool sterile.
It is kind of cool. It is kind of cool, but it was just a little too, I don't know. I like a little grit in my tap room.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to dress up, unless you really work on it. You're not going to be able to like degrade down to not being sterile to a post office or a bank.
Double Tap did it. Double Tap's a cool place to hang.
Yeah, but in their tap room and the other areas, they were able to do. It was also a smaller place. It was where Old Thunder is a really like. It's a historic building. It's a historic building. It's not.
Whereas
it wasn't a local smaller.
It's a 60s era post office that Double Tap is in that got destroyed during the hurricanes because it got flooded out because the one river burst its banks.
Right. But that aside, you guys didn't get up to Abjuration either.
No, we didn't get that far out of town. Abjuration's a little. It was on the list. I'm like, I'm not going that far.
I got you. Abjuration is really cool because, well, first of all, you gotta like sours because that's the main thing they do there.
Yeah.
But
are they true sours or are they kettle sours?
A little bit of both.
Because Strange Roots.
Stranger's all sours too.
Yeah, but they're straight up sours. They don't kettle. Sours. They do not kettle.
No, yeah, absolutely. But it's probably Abjuration probably leans more towards kettle sours, but the building is cool. It's smaller, and they're in an old movie theater.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if we go back, obviously there's some breweries we're not going to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
Some that we're going to have to go back to.
Right.
And one of the ones that I really, really enjoyed was the last brewery we went to there.
Which was? Sorry.
Bonk. Golden Age.
Golden Age, yes.
So Golden Age, when we went, they were having a big party to celebrate the history of the town that Golden Age is in. And Golden Age it's on the south side of the river. It's out a little further. It's in a town called Homestead.
Which is where Voodoo is, which is also where Brew Gentleman is.
But they're a little outside of that area. They're technically in the town, but they're not in the town proper. Now, Homestead, for baseball history aficionados, Homestead is where the Grays played.
Pittsburgh Grays, yeah.
The Pittsburgh Grays of the Negro League. And there was an old, I don't know if it was a deli, cafeteria, whatever it was. There was, I think it was a deli. And the brewery, I don't think is far from where that deli used to exist. But when that deli closed, they had this thing called the mystery sandwich. And that sandwich recipe has been shared with the brewery. And they were serving that sandwich. Like, you want to know what's in it? Order it. They won't tell you what's in the sandwich. But they had like a 4-piece jazz band outside. And these guys were killing it. It was just such a great, fun atmosphere. And what was also awesome was to see how much of the local community was in that place. The age range was vast. I wasn't even close to the oldest person there. There was a lot of cultural diversity inside the tap room. It was just a really cool place to hang out. It was a lot of fun. And then them celebrating the town's history the way they were, we hit them on a good day. And they do pretty damn good beer, John. And they know how to do a lucre pour.
That's a montage of some of the members of the Pittsburgh Grays, which at one point were the Homestead Grays, and then they became the Pittsburgh Grays.
Yep, that's absolutely true. That's in the Heinz Museum in the sports section.
Yep. Yeah, I spent a little time in the sports section.
I'm sure you did. I blew by it a little bit. Of course, I had to honor Mean Joe Green and the Steelers, because you remember my first favorite team was the Steelers.
Steelers, of course.
And then
who didn't grow up in the 70s and like the Steelers?
So that was
or grow up to whatever extent that.
If you were a Raiders fan or a Dallas fan, you did not root for the Steelers ever.
Well, that was it in the 70s. If you were a kid in the 70s, and I don't mean like 3, I mean our age is in the 70s,
10ish,
right? You were if you didn't have a family team, you were a Steelers fan, a Raiders fan, or a Cowboys fan,
or a Packers fan.
Not so much. No.
No. There were still a lot. There were still a lot of Packer fans in the 70s.
Late 60s came into that, but the only other thing before that would be the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, yes, because of Greasy.
Yep. But the majority of everybody, if you took it, I'd probably say about 90%, 80 to 90% of everybody's either, that didn't have a family team was either a Steelers fan, a Cowboys fan, or a Raiders fan.
Yep. And the Raiders, because of John Madden,
of course,
one of the greatest coaches. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. On that note, let's do our top 3s. We're here. We've been talking about it, and
we're here. Never mind. We're here. We drink beer, and we're proud.
We're here. We drink beer, and I get a couple comments while you get ready for that. Kat says, "I tend to wax philosophical when I get into my cups too, Dave."
Yeah, you've got to. You when the muse hits you. When I say muse, I mean beer.
Exactly. And here we go. Muirback Beer Gary said 54.
You're gonna have to let us know.
I'm assuming he's 54. That's where I'm getting out of that.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Otherwise, it's something.
So he's not too much younger than us. So
wait a second. I just hope by setting that out, our clone commanders aren't going to slaughter us now.
There you go.
He just issued Order 54.
Unless he did that, because yes.
Okay. You interpreted it properly that time, John.
Interpreted it properly. Thanks. Exactly. Thanks, Mirback. I appreciate it. I know what to call him. Is it Mirback? I'm sorry. Let me know, please. I want to know
what name to call you.
Should I call you Mirback? Should I call you? Just let me know, please. But 100%. Yeah, you're right. You're right in line with Dave and I. You're within a few years, a couple years, a few years, either way. But in any event,
well, the one thing I can say is there is a YouTube channel for Mirabak Briggery. I can't. I don't.
Mirabak. There you go. I'll call you Mirabak. There you go.
Mirabak Briggery.
Thanks, bud.
And it's him drinking beer. That's awesome.
Awesome.
So
I will watch that afterwards. Mirabak for Rich.
Yeah, we've got to look at
Great. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Top threes. Let's do our top threes.
Top threes. What are the top threes today?
Top threes tonight are top three. Oh, geez, I didn't put it up there. Hold on a second.
You didn't type it in there? Or?
I didn't know. I did type it in there, but I forgot to actually put it onto this one. So it says last week's. What last week's was. So
I've got to go.
But no, it doesn't matter. I'm here right now. So this week's is top three favorite Pittsburgh beers. We haven't done it before because Dave had not been to Pittsburgh until a couple of weeks ago. So top three favorite Pittsburgh beers. Dave, kick us off, please, and let us know what your top three favorite Pittsburgh beers are.
I've got 7. Actually, I've got 8.
Of course you do. I have 6, but go for your. By the way, between the two of us, we have 14, and this is a top 3. All right. So.
I got to try to figure out what order to put these in. So, my number 8.
Would you like me to go first?
My number 8 I mentioned already. That's the Hazendelic.
You literally giving me all 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you all 8 of them. The number fucker. 7 is.
Hold on, whoa. You know I got to type. What is it?
Oh, you got to. I just said the Hazendelic juice grenade from
Hazendelic juice.
That's Hazedeli.
That's fine.
Okay, you got that. Okay. Juice grenade. Grist house. You got that? You good?
Hazendelic juice grenade.
Yeah, by Grist house.
You got it.
Okay. Number 7's Old Thunder had a place called beer called Same Places. It's their pre-prohibition lager, and people who watch the show know how John and I like our pre-prohibition.
100%. Yeah.
And they did a pretty damn good job with that one.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Number 6, Hitchhiker. I mentioned it earlier. The stout that they had out. It's brewed with caramel. Actually, it's called No Way. That was actually pretty damn good. Drinking a big stout like that on a hot day in a building that is not air conditioned is
not air conditioned.
I think that's brave on my part. That's some commitment right there, as to trying their styles. Number 5. So the Gozev may have topped the top.
Hold on, number 5. That was number 5.
That was number
6. 8, 7, 6. Oh no, yeah, you're right. Number 5.
Right. 6. So number 5 is the Lolev Gozev. This beer is really quite the style. I'd like it to be a little lighter body, but I still think they nailed it. Number 4 is Lolev's Tribute. Number 3, we're talking about Strange Roots and how they do true sours, and they have a series that's called Foraged. And this series is where they go and they forage for the ingredients to add into this beer. And this one is foraged sumac.
Was it poison?
It was not poison sumac. I did not break out in any hives or anything. It was actually pretty damn good. I really, really enjoyed it. Number 2, Golden Age Cherna 13 Degree.
Cherna 13 Degree.
And John, you can tell by the name what style that is.
It's a Polotomave.
It's a Polotomave. That was very good. They do some really good Czech, German, and British styles at just blanked on the name. Golden Age.
Golden Age, yeah.
Yeah, they do some really good stuff there.
And what's your number 1?
My number 1 is a German Shepherd barking. No.
You heard that?
Yes.
Just started.
You just started. So we've had the fire department, we've had a fire alarm, and a German Shepherd.
There you go.
Oh my God! I got arrested once for having a German Shepherd fixed. Okay. I'm not talking the dog. I'm talking about a German Shepherd.
Anyway,
sorry, that's a bad joke. That comedian's from Philadelphia. He's the one that did the song "Wet Dreams."
Yes.
I can't remember his name.
I forget what it was too.
I can't remember. But my number 1 Okay, so that Poltamavi was number one until this beer.
Okay, so that's that's the
10th anniversary reserve,
right 10th
from Grist House. This is a special beer. They did a phenomenal job with this.
There you go. Drank it on the show, became his number one. You heard it here, folks. You were here for it.
You were here for the transformation.
Exactly. All right, my top 3 is only 6, not 8.
It's
right?
only 6.
There you go.
Well, mine was 6 until I started drinking.
I have.
If you had some Pittsburgh beers on the show, you may have gone to 8 as well.
That's true. That's true. I have 2 honorable mentions, and then my number 3 is actually a tie. That's where I get 6 from.
Okay.
So my
Yeah,
two.
I'm trying. Yeah, it's like I was starting to do the math and realized, nope, no math.
My 2 honorable mentions. My 2 honorable mentions are the number 1 is the Schwartz beer from Hofbrau.
You have mentioned it, and I'm just so sad that we weren't there in February to have it.
Mm-hmm. Amazing beer. My other honorable mention is the Schwartz beer, called Schwartz, by the way, from 4 Points Brewing.
Oh, nice. Okay. I did have a beer called Schwartz while I was there. I forget what brewery it's from, but it did not make my list.
There you go. Moving on to my number 3. It's a tie, both from Dancing Gnome. All right. Nobody's Robot. It's a double New England. that was my first number 3, and also from Dancing Gnome. I was going back and forth. These are my 2 favorite beers from Dancing Gnome, and it's not always present. It's a Kolsch. So a double New England and a Kolsch tie from Dancing Gnome for number 3 for me.
So the Schwartz that I had that did not make my list was actually from Strange Roots. The Schwartz beer from Strange Roots. It was good.
And there you go. My number 2. Speaking of Schwartz beers, my number 2 is the Foeder aged Schwartz beer from Trace Brewing.
As I said, that had to be Trace.
Yep.
And we need to go back when, some of these breweries are putting out better offerings. Like I said, Grist House, it was almost all IPAs and milkshake sours.
Yep.
And Trace only had 8 beers on.
Yeah. You got to get back. Get back. And don't go on July 4th weekend. Go earlier in the year or later in the year.
Oh, I want to go on a day where it doesn't hurt to be outside.
Yeah. We're going the end of October, so that's when we're going.
That'll be a good time to go.
So the Foeder aged Schwartz beer from Trace Brewing. That's my number 2. My number 1, and I've had it on the show, and it's 2 of Dave's top 8 are from this brewery. It's my number 1. His number 1 is my number 1, and it's from Grist House, and it is their dark English mild called London Calling.
They did not have that when I was there,
and I am so sorry that they did not have that there for you.
What they did have,
one of the best, one of, and there's a lot. There's a few, not a lot. There's a few. One of the best true dark English milds. Because lately, I don't know if you know this, if you're a mild drinker, right, you can actually order a dark English mild that's not really dark.
No,
it's a mild, right?
It's amber.
It's amber, right? It's darker than an IPA.
It's not supposed to look like this, mind you.
Right? No.
But it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be dark.
It's not supposed to look like the Heller Bock that I drank.
Right, exactly.
Which a lot of them do.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, the London Calling is their dark English mild, Grist House. That's by far my favorite beer in Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh proper, if you will.
Well, they didn't have it while I was there. I need to get back.
We will get back. There you go. We got 3 comments. Let me just put these up here. We have what we got? Kat says, "Dang, now I want to try some of these." You got it, Kat.
Get to Pittsburgh.
You got to get to Pittsburgh. We're back. Alt.
You're talking John's language there with alt.
This is right here the number 1 alt beer fan in the world, right here.
He's him and his shtick of alts. He absolutely loves them.
I am a huge shtick alt fan, to the point where I actually have been able to make somebody else jealous of a shtick alt beer that I've ordered at a bar.
Only because there was nothing else to drink there, and you ordered the last one, you son of a bitch.
There you Yes, absolutely, Mirback. 100%. You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
We're simpatico right there. And Brian Boak just commented, brewing a dark English mild is a few weeks. Brewing a monster mash on Halloween weekend.
Okay, so then the Monster Mash is going to show up at a tailgate, Brian?
Brian, just let me know. Look, I plan on going to a few games this year, so I plan on having both of those with you. So. and maybe we can force Dave to come out. By the way, I still have your gloves that you lent me so generously at the one game that was freezing cold.
Maybe what I'll do is
it was a Monday night game at the Packers.
Maybe I'll save that for one of the games.
There you go. We can do
the other can that I have of it.
We can do that too. And the three of us. The three of us.
Oh yeah, no one else.
People.
No
the three of us will drink that. There you go. There you go. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Thanks, Brian. Cool. All right. Well, that is our top threes. And hold on. I trust you for the gloves. Thank you so much. They were a lifesaver that day. It was Dave, it was so cold that day. It was the Monday Night Football game, the Giants-Packers last December. And I had no gloves. I was there with Jonathan, my son. He had gloves. I did not. I dropped the ball on it. Well,
wait a second. The kid was more prepared than the father.
He was.
You should be embarrassed.
Although I had all the food. I had the food and the beer at the car.
Doesn't matter.
Hold on. I had the food and the beer at the car. I had the beer to bring over to Brian, and he had the food and everything else. So I just didn't have the gloves.
Doesn't matter.
I forgot.
You are the father.
No.
You're supposed to think of everything.
I did think of them. I walked out the door without them. That's what happened. All right. But Brian, fortunately, had like 3 pair of gloves with him. He's like, here, take these. I'm like, thank you. Brian, they've been literally sitting in my car since the game. So I will give them back to you at that point. And let me know if you're coming to Klein's this time. I will meet you, and I'll give them to you there. Unless you want me to hold them till a Giant game, that's fine.
He wants gloves in 100-degree weather.
Exactly. But in any event,
I think he can live without them for a while.
Exactly. All right.
Actually, I think we all need to go visit Murbach because I'm sure it's a lot cooler.
Murbach, I'm absolutely ready to take a trip over to Norway. Let me know where you are. Please write into us. Actually, you know what? Brian's going to LBI next week. Hit me up if you're coming down or you're coming back through. We'll meet up and have a beer, or I'll come down to LBI and have a beer with you. I gotta meet a couple of accounts down there anyway. So hit me up and let me know where you're at, and I'll definitely be there, 100%. In any event, I will digress into the fact that we've been doing a Just the Two of Us show. This is probably our longest Just the Two of Us.
Possibly. Well, we've been interrupted so many times.
Fire alarm. Yeah, exactly. And Mirback, 100%. Hit us up on go to the website, www.lagerroom.com, www.lagerroom.com. If you sign up for the newsletter, you can just write us in. It's info@lagerroom.com. Write us in and let us know your information, because absolutely love to have you involved. Whatchamacallit, from Norway.
Great to have him on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to know what the Norwegian beer scene is like.
Yes,
seriously, and we have nobody else that can tell us that. So
absolutely, I would love.
We've had Italy on. We've had Germany on. Yep. We've done a show from
Germany. There were people from New Jersey.
No, but it's still I don't care how long they've been there. It's still Germany, right? So Germany. Italy, Germany. Yeah. So yeah, we'd love to have that. So write in, or just message on Facebook or YouTube. That's fine too. But let us know and we'll work that out.
Yeah, and I gotta go and I've got to watch some of the stuff on his channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that tonight as well. All right, I'm hungry.
I ate already, so I'm not.
All right. Well, on that note, we will wrap the show up for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter.
Because you don't, we will find you.
Exactly.
And
Instagram.
No, never mind.
Exactly.
I will finish that.
And our YouTube channel, what we're going to do, Liam Neeson from Taken.
We got a certain set.
We have a particular set of skills.
We will find you.
Exactly.
No.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube channel. All of them are at the Locker Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook.
How many times did they kidnap his daughter? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it was a lot. So,
like I said, at some point he's just.
I mean, the one movie won, but
Yeah.
Anyway,
sorry. I'm sorry. Continue.
Mirbeck said, "Okay, awesome. Please do. Don't forget.
Yeah,
awesome.
Please do.
We want to know. Anyway, all of them are at the Locker Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Unfortunately, not X anymore. Sorry, Elon. But you're not. I'm not. We're not doing a premium account on X, so it's not. No, just watch us on Facebook, YouTube, our YouTube channel, and Twitch every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Listen Notes. Pretty much anywhere you can find audio podcasts, you will find the Locker Room.
Did you hit the microphone again?
I did. Pretty much anywhere you can find audio podcasts, you will find the Locker Room Guys Craft Beer Podcast. And if you haven't done those already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And Dave and I will talk to you next week with John Stardomsky, the Brew Guru, and Tom Mulvihill, the Beer Whisperer, on our annual Christmas in July show. You're not going to want to miss that.
If you're a fan of slurring,
tune in late, right? Exactly.
Yeah, tune in late on that one. Exactly. Oh, that's going to be a fun one.
100%. It's going to be a fun show next week, so tune into that. But tune into every one of our shows. So we got a lot of good shows coming up, a lot of things booked. We're actually booked into October at this point. So
yes, we are.
Yeah, you're going to want to pay attention. So, all right. Anyway, folks, enjoy. We will talk to you soon. Take care. Yep. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, Yins.
Cheers, Yins.